Team Petruzzi presents Understanding the Home Buying Process. Today's topic, Inspecting Your Home.
Hi everybody, I'm Krier with Team Petruzzi at Remax at the Crossing. Today I'm here with Matt from Pillar to Post. Hey, what's the first thing that we do during a home inspection?
The very first thing we do is we actually take a look at the house from the street to make sure it's not canted to one side or another, to make sure there's no obvious signs of settling or movement, to kind of get some idea of what kind of overall shape the house is in.
Okay.
The second thing that we always do when we come inside to set up, believe it or not, is not something we look at. You literally kind of smell the house, because especially on an older property, it'll give you a lot of ideas about whether there's been moisture intrusion in the house, how the house has been kept, and honestly what kind of shape it's in. So in an older house like this one, where we come in, it's been raining like heck for 2 days outside, and we don't smell any heaviness or mustiness. That's actually a really good sign, because this has both a block basement and a crawl space, and we're not smelling that at all when we come into the house. So that's a good sign for the property. First thing we do when we walk into a house is honestly walk into a basement, because it's going to tell you 75% about what you need to know about a house. And what we expect to find varies a bit with the age of the house. But in a house like this, built in 1940, we're primarily beginning to look at the foundation walls for any signs of moisture intrusion, and kind of structurally, we're looking at the integrity of the house to make sure it's in good shape. So the things that we see kind of immediately coming down here in a little bit older house is we do have some settlement cracking in the block wall, and it kind of starts here where the porch ties into the house, and then actually ends in a vertical crack right here. And if you sight along the wall, there's the tiniest little bit of bowing beginning to show up there in that foundation wall.
And is that really scary, or?
That's really scary for a lot of buyers, because it indicates some structural movement. But the reality of it is, this kind of movement is usually really slow. So given the bow of that wall, we would want to have somebody look at it right now. What they're probably going to tell you is that you're easily 10 years away from having to do something. So there's probably nothing to be done right now. If you're going to be in the house 10 years, bear in mind you probably ought to be putting a little bit of money away to address that wall when you go to sell it. The other thing we notice coming down here is, because it's been raining like that for the last couple of days, there is actually a little bit of moisture intrusion. There's liquid water coming through the wall down here. And we can see where the paint's kind of flaked and peeled off in this basement. That looks really scary to a lot of people, because in modern housing, we're just not used to having any moisture in a basement. Houses in 1940 were never built to have a completely waterproof basement. So when it rains enough, in all honesty, you should probably always expect to have a little bit of water coming in down here. And the fix to this is probably, or usually, never more complicated than extending gutters and downspouts away from the house outside. So you can get rid of this with some $10 gutter extensions in most cases.
That's good to know. Thank you, Matt.
You're welcome.
For more information on the home buying process, contact Sarah at teampetruzzi.com.